only have 160 hours in a week. How will you spend the pieces of that pie, and what are your priorities? I found that my priorities can be grouped into 4 general categories, which is one of the reasons why I will be using 4 planners for 2018. Faith, home, work, and social media, which includes things like my YouTube channel. The video time points for each planner is listed here on the screen for your convenience in case you are interested in starting with a particular topic. This is my home planner, and I chose a classic sized vertical because it works well for me for generating lists of tasks, and I don't need to journal anything out or write out any detailed descriptions for these tasks, so I don't need a horizontal. I keep this planner open to the current week on my desk at all times, and I use it for most of my planning systems and inserts. So this I consider to be my main planner. In the front section, I have my bullet journal happy planner hybrid, and I have a video about how I set this up and details about the different categories that I have in here. But in general, I have different self-improvement systems set up in here. I have long-term collections, which are things like inspiring quotes. I have habits, which includes my habit tracker and gratitude tracker, and I also included a medication tracker. I have a section for ongoing projects, a section for brainstorming, and a section for meal planning. This, I have an entire video on how I set the system up if you want to learn more of the details, but this is very useful for me still to this day. I'm still using this system. Behind here, I have the list of perishable ingredients categorized by which recipes these ingredients fall under, so I know what to buy from the grocery store. I have a list of ingredient staples, which I always keep on hand no matter what because they're so commonly used in the recipes. Then under the recipes tab, I have broken up the recipes into the 4 categories that we see on the meal planning dashboard. So the top category is the beef and pork category, then chicken, then seafood, and then sides. And down here we just have tabs for leftovers or when we eat out. So for example, if I've planned out that I have chili for that night, which is under the beef and pork category, then I would go to this tab, and the recipe is right here, and if I need to pull it out, then I can, because this is a happy planner. And this is one of the things that I really love about the happy planner is that you can add new inserts and take old inserts out. If I want to use the lemon pepper chicken recipe, I go to the tab for chicken, which is right here, and I can pull this out of my planner as I am working on that recipe. After the recipe tab, I have my fitness tab, and I have a whole video about how I set this up and what is in this section, what I'm keeping track of under fitness and health, and I'll link that video down below for those of you who want to learn more. Then we get to my budget planner. I also have a video about how I set this budget planner up and details about what is included in this budget planner. There are things like long-term financial goals, expense tracking, and bill payments in here. And I also have a folder where I keep my receipts in so that I can update my expense tracker regularly and refer back to old receipts if I need to. Since this is a brand new planner, I'm still in the process of setting it up, so I want to add my name to the title page. I just printed this all out onto the clear sticker paper, which you see me use so often on this channel, and I'll link that down below for those of you who want to see which type I use. On my currently page, I turned this into a tracker for my goals of the month, and I just posted a video on how I did this, so I'll link that video for you down below if you want to learn more about goal setting in your Happy Planner. This is my book tracker, where I have these little cards to keep track of the books that I read each month, and then I rate them and I write down the name of the author and the title so that I know if I like that author and I want to read more books from them. So I have a video on how I made this if you would like to learn more about that in the description below. I'm going to transfer this into next to the currently page for each month as I go along in the year. I also have this chores tracker, which I will also link down below for those of you who want to learn how I made this. So here in the monthly section is where I keep my routine tracker, and I have a video on how I made this tracker in the description below for those of you who are interested. This tracker is to remind me what I need to do every single morning, every single evening, and my specific routines for Saturday and Sunday. I haven't planned out January yet, so I'm going to show you my planning process. And as the month goes on, I will end up adding more meetings and appointments and activities to this calendar, but because it's still December when I'm filming this video, I don't know that far ahead in my schedule right now. Now I'm going to pull out this meal dashboard, and I'm going to start planning out the menus for each day. So at the end of the month, I will return all of these tabs back onto this dashboard and start again with the new month of meal planning. I'm going to use these little icon stickers to denote when my bills are due. So I've transferred my tasks from the monthly over to the weekly spread, and in addition to tracking things like family activities, appointments, meetings, and classes, I am also using the weekly to track the different habits that I want to put into place that have to do with self-improvement. So I want to pray every day, read every day, update my expenses every day, do some little bit of exercise every day. On the left side, I have a column for my goals. I have a section for faith goals and a section for financial goals. And at the end of the week, I can write a little note about how I did. I also have sections for my chores down here at the bottom, making sure to get a little bit of chores done every day, as well as other miscellaneous tasks that just need to be done around the home specifically. This insert works well for putting shopping lists on the back. You can just put a post-it note here. And then when you need to go to the store, you can easily just pull this sticky note off and put it in your purse and take it with you. I'm using this mini-sized horizontal planner for work this year. And the reason why I'm using this size is because I find that because of how my job is scheduled, that most of my day is spent on 1 or 2 experiments, which doesn't take a lot of space to write down, and then the rest of the day is taken up by some tasks which easily fit into this section down here. So I just decided to devote the top section for scheduled items like lab meetings or the experiments that I'm doing for that day. And then below that I have the list of tasks or to-do items. And I prioritize each of these using a color coding system. The aqua color is for the top priorities, A1 through A4. And I use a purple pen for the tasks that are less of a priority, B1 through B4. In the note section, I have a section for lower priority tasks. These are things that if I have extra time in my day, I can go ahead and work on, but they don't have to get done this week. And at the end of the week, I make sure to plan out the next week's experiments and tasks on that Friday. And when I'm doing that, I go through each of my items and I transfer anything that didn't get done into the following week in my planner. And that includes these lower priority tasks. If these didn't get done, then they will be transferred to the note section in the next week. In my monthly section, I write out all of my scheduled tasks. So I have things like my lab meetings, the days that I've reserved different rooms for experiments. These are things that cannot change in my schedule because I'm working around other people in my lab and at my work, and when I sign up for that date, I can't just not show up or decide to change the time last minute. So I plan everything around these set scheduled times. I also wrote down in this section here in the monthly my top priorities for this month. These are basically my goals for the month. The things that I want to complete, the experiments I want to do. And I will go ahead and use this check-in section that they included at the end of the month for making sure that I accomplished my goals. And this was a note section and I changed it to monthly to-do. So these are things that need to get done this month, but I don't necessarily have a specific day that it needs to be done on, as long as it's done by the 31st of this month. So when I'm planning out my week, on one of these days, I'll go ahead and add this as a task item for that day. And for this month, it's request a day off so that I can go to PlannerCon this year. I keep this planner open on my desk at work at all times, and because of that, I don't bring my home planner to work. I just have this separate planner because I don't necessarily want my coworkers to see what plans I have for the weekend or what I'm cooking for dinner that night or when the last time I vacuumed my apartment was. I feel like this section of my life needs to be kept separate from my life at home because I don't want personal information just sitting out on my desk. This is my social media planner. So that includes my YouTube channel, which is the majority of what I use this planner for, but also my Facebook group and my Instagram account. So I keep this planner in a bookcase, which is right next to where I film my YouTube videos, so I have easy access to it. And the reason why I need a separate planner for social media is because there are a lot of details that go into planning out the videos and content creation, which takes a lot of brainstorming. And brainstorming takes up a lot of space and a lot of pages, and those pages do not fit into my home planner. So I decided to create this separate planner. This is a personal size Color Crush, and the reason why I'm working in a Color Crush instead of a Happy Planner, honestly, this was given to me as a gift by my mom, and I felt like I needed to use it. Otherwise, I'd probably be using a Happy Planner. But I figured out a way to make this work really well for what I need it for, and I like these rings in here so that I can easily take things out and add things in. And I also think it's really cute. So the reason why I'm using a planner instead of just writing or brainstorming the content for my YouTube videos in a notebook is because I also need to plan out the days that I need to do the research for the videos, plan them out, film them, edit them, and post them. Both videos and my Instagram photos. And I keep a strict schedule of posting one video every Saturday. And so I need to make sure that I'm planning out exactly when everything is going to get done. Otherwise, I will fall behind and not be able to stick to that schedule. I also use this planner for other topics like social media related costs of filming. I have different subscriptions to things like Epidemic Sound for the music that I use in my videos. So I need to keep track of my budget and make sure I'm not overspending on my YouTube channel. Also, I keep track of things like analytics and my goals for my channel, among other topics. And I'm going to be going into much more detail on this in the near future in a separate video. I don't have enough time for it in this video. This planner I'm so excited about is my Faith Planner for 2018. And once again, I decided to create a separate planner for this, mostly because I wanted to start using this for journaling. And you see that there's plenty of space on here for writing out my prayers for each week in a horizontal layout, which is much more easy to journal in versus a vertical layout. And a classic size allows for enough room to write in versus, for me, a personal for a journal would just be too small of a space to write in. So I chose this first because my ability to achieve my goals for this year will depend on my perseverance and my reliance upon God to give me strength. And in that process, I hope to grow. I'm going to use the monthly section to keep track of the Bible study podcasts that I'm listening to. They're called Drive Time Devotions, and my goal is to listen to one every single day. In the left column, I have listed out each of the books of the Bible that I am planning to listen to for 2018. The weekly section I am devoting to my prayers. I want to make sure that during my quiet time in the morning that I am writing down my prayers to kind of keep me on track and making sure that I am praying every single day, in addition to listening to the Bible study podcast. And I also am trying to read a little bit of a book each day that will help me grow in my faith. But I'm keeping track of those books right now in my book tracker and labeling those in the magenta purple color on here. So I will be expanding on what I'm going to be using this planner for in the months to come, and I'm really excited to share my ideas with you because I feel like there's so much potential for what you could use this planner for. I have several videos already posted. I have one where I show how to set up a daily devotional in your Happy Planner, one on how to set goals in your Faith Planner, and another one on how to set up a faith journal in a Happy Planner, and I show you that in my big Happy Planner. This channel was created to spark ideas in an effort to help us all become the best versions of ourselves, and I'm so excited for what 2018 has in store for you and hope that this video gave you some new ideas on ways that you can use planner systems to optimize your productivity. You don't necessarily have to have more than one planner, but hopefully this video gave you ideas for ways that you can implement those planner systems in order to optimize your productivity. If you'd like to see more planner ideas, please check out my Instagram at PersonalizeMyPlanner, and I'll see you next Saturday. Bye!
I just wanna